What is going on? It is the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. It is Tuesday, May 4th, and we are here, or I am here with my co-host, Keith Gray. Keith, what is going on, my man? How you doing?
What's going on, Jesse? I'm doing all right. May the fourth be with us all.
The fourth be with us all. Yes. There's a new Star Wars cartoon, I guess, that just came out today, or animation or something like that. But it's Star Wars Day, so that's pretty cool. But more importantly, some shit happened this weekend, and we had the NFL draft, and also Keith's birthday was yesterday. So I would like to formally wish you a happy belated birthday, Keith.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. 42. I mean, once you hit 40, it's downhill from there. So the rest is just a number.
Isn't that right? I hear you. Did you do anything special for your birthday?
I went to Bahama Breeze. Had a good meal. Had some drinks. Came home. Really, that was about it. Just chill. I guess when you get this age, man, there's just not a whole lot you can do, and especially in the COVID world, there's definitely not a whole lot you can do.
No doubt.
No, we made the best of it for what we could. So
yeah. No, I hear you. Well, congrats on being over the hill just a couple more years. I'm right behind you, so yay for me. We had the draft, and I gotta say, I gotta tell all you fuckers out there, we didn't get a fucking quarterback, so stop fucking whining. Jesus goddamn Christ, man. Fucking A.
I just wish people would start listening to me. That's all. Have I not been hinting this? Not that I knew that we weren't going to get a quarterback, but I pretty much...
We weren't going to go up there and get one. Go get one and give away a shit ton of assets. And like Ron Rivera said in a couple of interviews, if one fell to them and was within striking distance for a reasonable price, sure. But we're not going to fucking give away the farm for someone that they're not 100% behind. I mean,
and what really bothers me about the whole thing is everyone is discrediting next year's class as if there is just quarterback trash coming out of the dumpster.
And that's bullshit.
And that's bullshit. And you know that within the college football season, when that starts, there's going to be a QB that comes out of nowhere. It always happens. There's going to be guys that are desired for next year's draft. So I'm just uncertain, other than people given legitimate reasons by comparing stats, between these guys and, next year's draft class. I just don't understand why we felt like we absolutely 100% had to draft a quarterback. But like I said, through the time when I'm finding out, that Lance wasn't necessarily in the plans, Fields could have been in the plans. I think Fields was the guy that if he would have dropped to a manageable situation, we might have made a move.
Yeah.
I think that's the only prediction that a lot of people were seeing happen towards the end here, where Fields was going to slip, which he did a little bit. So, but all these other back end QBs, like Kellen Mond, Mills, those guys. I mean, I tried, telling folks just based upon the nuggets that were dropped to me that those were, not guys that we were interested in. And I mean, ultimately overall, Jesse, if you look at the draft and how it played out, we definitely didn't draft BPA. That's for sure.
No, you're absolutely 100%. We talked about this on Sunday, and both of us came to the conclusion it was like the second round for me. Best player available wasn't on the table. I totally understood what Ron Rivera was doing, and I'm okay with it.
What's interesting? Not to cut you off, but what's interesting is the reports that come out late, like for instance, Zaven Collins, the report coming out that he gained weight, weighed 270. People were projecting him to be late round, possibly first round. And he goes, what, 12th?
Yeah, 12th or 14th. It went to the Cardinals.
Yeah, something like
my
that.
Fucking heart.
Oh yeah, 12th, I think was the Eagles. But anyways, exactly. Like at the end of the day, when you look at the entire draft, and before we get into our actual picks, it just goes to show how none of us know anything.
No, we don't know shit.
We only know what we think, and we know what we want. And I'm totally cool with people mock drafting based upon, what we want. But man, this should just really set things to light by letting people realize and know that there's not a single expert out there that truly has it down pat. You know what I mean? Because
right.
no one saw Jock going, past first round. I mean, there were a lot of little surprises in this draft that should tell everyone that it's a good thing we're not GMs.
Yeah.
Because our team would be trash right now if we were.
Yeah, no, you're 1,000% right. Overall, I thought we had a pretty damn good draft after looking at it. Some of the players, especially later on the round, I'd never heard of, but so I had to go back and see what some of the analysts and former scouts were saying about them. But once I did, I was pleasantly surprised. I think we got the guys Ron wanted to get. There was a theme to this draft, and the theme was speed and versatility along with character. He would bypass a better player because they might had a maybe a shadier background than a player that we would have picked. I like what we did. And I mean, of course, no one should be able to grade a draft until about 2 or 3 years after the draft is there.
Right.
Because we honestly, we don't know. Some players are going to work out. Some players are not going to work out.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. So let's kind of go through them all. And we'll probably later on, when we don't have a whole lot to talk about, we'll probably get in a little bit more in depth about all the free agents and the draft picks. But we had actually how many picks? 10 picks. We picked up some extras later on in the draft, and we'll get to that in a little while. But starting off with our first pick at number 19, the player that we needed, Jamin Davis. As I said before, it might be a little bit higher than I probably would have picked him, but I'm happy with the pick. It's a player that we absolutely 100% needed. I think possibly we need to set our expectations a little bit with this guy. He's had a year of starting experience, and yes, it was a good year, but he basically only got the job because the player that was in front of him had a stroke. But that's okay. That we may not have seen him that much if that didn't happen. That's unfortunate for the player, obviously. But go ahead. You're going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the flip around on that is he took advantage of
Absolutely.
An opportunity.
No, you're 100% right on that. In a dream world, I would have liked to trade back a few spots, picked up a couple extra picks, and he may have still be there. A lot of people thought we were going to get Darrisaw with that pick, and that I wasn't very high on Darrisaw, so I was kind of glad that we got Davis instead, because it does fill a position that we really, really needed. What do you think about Davis?
Yeah, I mean, from a lot of the stuff that I've read and what I've watched, pros and cons. Again, I think we just added another component to a defense. Yeah. Again, a young squad. I think there's going to be guys out there that's going to help this man, help quarterback, the defense. I guess that's the best way that I can describe it. To me, we needed a linebacker. We got the linebacker. So for me, I would basically say that. It was a needed pick, and I think that it's going to work out well. And again, he's going to fit right in because that defense is young.
Absolutely. Moving on, pick number 2, round 2, 51. We got our offensive left tackle and Samuel Cosme. I love this pick, man. I really do. He is he is a mauler. He's very, very athletic. Another theme to this draft. He ran a 4.8, what was that, 4.85 for a fucking offensive lineman, a 4.85. Just think about that, man. That is fucking amazing.
Fast for a big boy.
Yeah, yes, he's got some things that he has to clean up, but that's okay. We have a very, very good offensive line coach. I think we found our offensive or our left tackle of the future. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that, they made the right move by not picking Darasol, because again, you can, if Cosme was on their draft board in round 2 and they were confident that they could get him, whatever skill set that he's missing is probably enough that's going to get, worked out on the practice field anyways, to where he can come in and be a legit, starting starting tackle and make positive plays for us.
Absolutely. Moving on to our 3rd round pick, we got Benjamin St. Juice. Now, listen, I really didn't know much about this guy when we picked him, man. I had to go back. I watched highlights and I read up a lot on him. He was the number 1 overall defensive back in the Senior Bowl. So I am totally stoked about that. And I think they have possible aspirations of playing him at some safety. I know he did play some at safety, but he's long. He's experienced. He has some range. He's very good playing press, which is what I think we're moving towards with the signing of William Jackson. I think he's just an athlete, and I think he'll do good for us. Maybe a year or 2 down the road, though.
Yeah, this one was tough. Being at FedEx, I'll be honest. Kind of when this pick was made, and you look at people and they're like, "Who?" No one really knew who this guy was. So to be honest, I think for me, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, you basically said some of the stuff that I've read on this guy. I think this is the one where we just have to trust, coaching staff. Obviously, they're way more qualified than we are.
Sure. Absolutely.
So maybe they've seen some things that, we didn't see. And again, I say that loosely because whatever I see doesn't mean shit. I sit at a folded table doing a podcast. So I wouldn't say I'm a talent evaluator by any means. But again, when you go back to all the mock drafts from the experts and, everything that's been talked about, he was nowhere to be found, in my opinion. So I'm interested to see, I'd like to know what Ron saw in him or what, the scouting staff saw in him that, made him viable as a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you.
There were other guys on the board.
There were.
So that to me was questionable.
This is a pick that we're going to have to trust Run. And if y'all see my messy room behind me, I am in my son's kind of offset of the bedroom of the offset. I
know you play with Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's just a little bit of mess right now. So please excuse me. I'm
excuse his Pokemon.
I'm going to trust the coaching staff on this one. I just hope I can come up with a nickname for him, Jam and Juice. Kind of hopefully that sticks if he plays very well. So I think that's a pretty good nickname. Anyways, dork alert.
Well, one thing's for sure. Hog Farmer Chris will end up with his jersey.
Oh yeah, probably. He's got him as every fucking jersey known to man.
Every fucking player that's been on the team.
Moving on, our number or round 4 pick, and this is my favorite pick of the whole entire draft. Dyami Brown. He was pick 82 out of UNC. Again, this was an absolute steal. This kind of levels out our receiving core right here. A lot of people say that he has same traits as Terry McLaurin, but I see him as a less explosive, more physical Deshaun Jackson. Just probably not as fast, but he's very, very good on go routes. He'll fight for the ball, and he's very good at tracking the ball. He does need to work on his route tree. He played primarily on the left side of the offense of the line. But with was it Jim Hostler? I think that's our wide receivers coach. He will, actually, I think it's our time. Anyway, our wide receivers coach will help him round out his route tree. And I think he's going to be a very good receiver for us for years to come. Now we got Samuel, we got McLaurin, we got Davis, this guy, I think excuse me, Brown. I think this is going to help us keep up with the Cowboys receivers. We all know what the Giants did as well. They got Kadarius Toney, and they signed what's his name from the Lions. I can't think, but they got a good receiving core as well now. So that kind of keeps us up with it. What do you think?
It's hard to say. I mean, saying the still of the draft is tough. I mean, if he was
projected to be a late first, early second round pick by a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Even when I attempted to do mock drafts and I had nothing to do with anything, or even understanding what the hell I was even doing, I mean, he was still in the 4th round aspect. I don't know. Like, I don't really have an opinion on this. Different coaching staff. I just feel like the history with our team, we don't do very well with wide receivers. Terry McLaurin is an exception in a long time, to be honest, to where he's literally come out and balled. And we know that he can ball because he balled literally with every different fucking quarterback we had last season. Yeah. Right. So it wasn't just a Haskins and McLaurin connection. I mean, he was catching with every QB. So I think that right there is proven that McLaurin actually, doesn't need our training staff to develop him. He has the skill set to, keep pushing forward and be great. I don't know. It's hard to say for me. Is this a steal of a draft? He's drafted in the, 4th round behind, other receivers. So I don't really have a negative or a positive thing to say. I would just say that right now that that wide receiver core is now loaded, and some heads are going to be on the chopping block.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure we have an idea of who that's going to be, but again, I'm interested to see how this Turner and Ron choose to use Brown.
You're poo-pooing on my excitement for Diami Brown. Just to let you know.
I know. It's just I read a lot. Like people want to be excited, man. And my thing is this: like, a year ago, I wanted to shit on everyone's excitement because I thought that people act fucking ridiculous.
We do.
Because beforehand, when you'll see all these, arguments going on Twitter, and no one talks up anyone until we actually draft people. And then once we draft folks, we start talking them up as if they're superstars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I've seen that a lot today, where Brown was, conversation, and all of a sudden this guy is, going to be one of the best wide receivers in the league. And I just
that's pushing it right there.
It's definitely pushing it. And I literally want to shit on people, but I can't, well, I can, but I just had too much going on today. But I literally wanted to be like, oh, what is wrong with you guys? Like, excuse me, why is it every time, during this, before the draft, people aren't hype on certain guys, and then the minute we go out and draft some of these guys, then all of a sudden the hype's there and these guys are going to be superstars.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Maybe it's natural selection. I don't know. But like I said, in all honesty, I mean, we all want our team to win. So of course, I hope this guy comes out and balls. I'm just going to be interested to see how he's going to be used in this offense.
Oh, I hear you. Moving on, our 4th round pick, I think pick 124, a tight end. We finally got a fucking tight end, but it wasn't the tight end that everybody thought we should get. We got John Bates from the university. No, it was Boise State. He's more classified as more of a blocking tight end, but it's Todd McShay of ESPN, the great Muck Drefter.
I'm a trust Todd over
said that he has the best hands for tight end besides a home dude from Florida.
Pitts.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts. He said he has the second best hands in the whole entire draft. He just wasn't thrown to a lot. I'm going to trust the judgment of our coaching staff on this one as well. We do have Logan Thomas. Now we got a good black and tight end that hopefully can sneak up on some people. When he comes into the game, they can think, oh, well, he's just here for a block and go out and score touchdowns. Because we absolutely need someone like a Logan Paulson used to be. He was more or less of a blocking tight end, but he would go now and again and score a couple touchdowns or first downs here and there. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to say. You touch base on, what some of the experts were saying on him. What's interesting was earlier in that day, I actually got dropped a nugget with two players that were on the board. Bates was one of them, and Jamar Jefferson was the other. Sadly, we didn't draft the other guy. He actually got picked, the final pick right before us. I believe it was Detroit that picked him. So I don't know. We maybe could have picked him at the end, but what was interesting is I was told John Bates was, on their draft board, and lo and behold, here we are drafting him. But listen, that shit is so fluid, and it's a shot in the dark. Anything can happen. You don't know what teams are picking.
Yeah.
But apparently he's been there since day one. So
that's good. And listen, hey, our coaching staff saw what they saw in Logan Thomas, and look what happened last year. Okay.
Agreed.
When we picked up Logan Thomas, everybody shit on that. Every fucking buddy shit on that.
Everyone shit on that.
And everybody shit on this pick. Everybody wanted Brevin Jordan from University of Miami because he was still on the board at this pick. But I'm going to trust the coaching staff on this one. And
I think what you have to, what a lot of people don't pay too much attention to is they do look at the BPA part of it. And they do look at like who's sexy versus non-sexy as a player, but not many people pay attention to, well, is this sexy player going to be good with our scheme?
Yeah,
probably not. If the coaching staff thought that, Brevin was going to be the guy, we would have drafted him. Right. So I think that this is where we have to have trust, in these guys, that this is what they do for a living. They know what they're talking about. They know what they're looking for. Scott Turner probably saw something in Bates that he feels is going to work well in his scheme and system. Right. So that's something that we desperately need to, to pay attention to. A lot of people really just look at the faces. They compare the faces and what they've done in college. But what we have to pay attention to is how are the coaching staff looking at how these players are going to produce on an, NFL level. Yeah. And, obviously they felt that, Bates is going to be the guy. So, if it's in Ron we trust, then, we might as well roll with it and see.
I feel you. All right, moving on. Derek Forrest, he's very, very experienced safety out of Cincinnati. He started, I think, for almost all 4 years, I think. He played mainly at strong safety, but the thought of him is possibly moving to free safety. But he's going to be a special team stalwart. I'm not sure if you know anything much about Derek Forrest.
No, you can keep it moving.
Okay. All right. And then our 6th round picks, Cameron Cheeseman, long snapper. Okay. I got to say my rant real quick. Shut the fuck up. We drafted a goddamn long snapper. We needed a fucking long snapper. Quit your fucking bitching. I don't fucking goddamn care that we drafted a long snapper. It's a 6th round goddamn pick. What pisses me off is getting rid of Nick Sundberg in the first place. But I digress. He's gone. We got to move forward. Okay.
I wonder why that move was made.
It's analytics. His speed of his snaps were getting slower and slower. Really? But I'm of the mindset, if it's not fucking broke, don't fix it. Yeah. I'm more pissed off about releasing Sundberg than I am about using a 6th round pick that we got in a trade with Philadelphia. We got a 6th round pick and an extra 7th round pick. We owe them a 5th round pick next year. Whoop-de-fucking do. Quit your bitching. It's done. It's over with. We need a long snapper. I'm not mad. He's the 2nd best long snapper in the fucking draft, or coming out of college last year. We needed it. Just he better not fuck up.
I also think too that people need to understand that when these picks are being made, contracts are in, money is in the back of the minds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, they're making choices. I wouldn't say that weighs heavily on who they draft, but Nick
Sundberg was, I think, one of the highest paid long snappers in the league.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know what that was. And, I'm just saying ultimately overall, like, every team would love to draft every single guy in any round and call them elite. but with elite comes elite contracts.
Yeah.
And so, you got to draft these guys that have the skill set to play, on the pro level, but may need work, and truthfully 6th and 7th rounders usually either one end up getting cut or on the practice squad. Sure. Not every single one of them.
No, not every one of them.
There's an exception, but a lot of them do. So are we really putting that much stock into what we did for a 6th rounder, long snapper? Who cares? Just welcome to the team, Cheeseman.
Yep. All right, moving on. We're going to cut through this 7th round real quick. We had 3 picks. We had defensive end William Bradley King from Baylor. Just some defensive end depth. No one's touching Montez Sweat and Chase Young's job. Shaka Tony, I do like this pick. Watching Penn State's defense because I was studying up on Micah Parsons. This is a good pick. He could actually move to off-ball linebacker. But he's had a lot of tackles and a lot of sacks for multiple years. It's a good pick. I like him. Our second to the last pick in the whole entire draft is Dax Milne. Only know him because of watching the kid from BYU, Zach Wilson play. He was a favorite target of Zach Wilson. We'll see what happens with these guys. You got anything on these guys?
Yeah, I don't have anything on the guys, but clearly these picks tell me Brian Kerrigan's most likely not coming back.
You're probably right about that. I mean, the door's not all the way shut, but it's cracked.
It's looking like it's going to be shut.
Very good. We only got one undrafted free agent, Jarrett Patterson. I love this kid. I love this pickup. I'm shocked that he did not get drafted. He's had 1,000 yards, at least 1,000 yards for 3 years in a row. Last year, he played 6 games. He got 1,017 yards, and he scored 19 touchdowns last year. 19 touchdowns in only 6 games. The kid had a 406-yard, 8-touchdown game. 8 touchdowns in one fucking game against Kent State last year. That's nuts.
So that pick right there told me that if Jefferson would have been available, if Detroit hadn't have, when they picked right before us, we probably would have drafted Jefferson.
Yeah.
But again, that's me just trying to protect my cause. But it didn't work out, but all signs indicated we probably would have went that route. And what was funny was because I was so stuck on that, I researched and I actually really liked what I saw with Jefferson. So I didn't do, I did see that we, did draft the other guy, but what's his name? Patterson, his last name?
Yeah. Patterson. He was the undrafted free agent that we picked up. We only picked up one.
I didn't put too much stock in trying to research on that.
Jarrett Patterson. Yeah.
Jarrett Patterson. Okay. So yeah, I mean, hey, listen, at the end of the day, what it looks like is that we definitely drafted needed positions. And, again, Ron likes those bargain guys. And I think that he thinks he got some bargain guys at the end, of this draft. And I think, Ron thinks that we've got some, strong guys in the first, couple picks of this draft. So ultimately overall, I don't grade, but I would just say, I think it was a well-balanced draft. We didn't overload on positions that we didn't need. And if you look at the team, man, there was just a lot of holes. So yeah, I was just happy to see that we made moves to where maybe we can, find needles in a haystack.
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely.
Wish all these guys the best of luck.
We filled a lot of needs with this draft, and that's one of the things that one of the main things that I like about this draft, and we got players for the most part that I think can contribute right away.
Well, guys like Cameron Curl, last year we didn't see him coming.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So again, he's just another name, that we didn't see coming, so hopefully we get, a guy or two like that, from this draft, and, we can continue to build, upon that.
Yep, absolutely. Well, that wraps up our draft recap. We're going to get into more depth later. We're just kind of pressed for time today. We got Keith's Corners coming up, and we also have some breaking news. We got a secret tape, managed to get a secret tape sent to us with old Jerry and the Dallas Cowboys war room. So that's going to be coming up in just a minute. But first, our favorite segment, Keith's Corner, where Keith has the microphone. I have no fucking clue what he's going to say. And the floor is yours, my man.
Yeah. So obviously RG3 hit the news when he was doing an interview with Bleacher Report.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Kirk Cousins.
When he said still throwing shade.
When he said old number 8 collecting a paycheck, with a 7-8 or 7-9, 9-7 record, whatever it was he said, that wasn't the exact quote, but it was basically he said number 8's collecting a paycheck. And I see everybody turning around and everyone's like, oh, he's still bitter, he's still this. No. What people need to understand is Robert Griffin III probably is not going to play football. He's still going to advocate to be a backup, as he did when he said that he would like to go to San Francisco, possibly reunite with with Shanahan and be a mentor. I'm sure he meant that. But the idea of that actually happened is probably slim to none. I don't think he's going to find a backup spot. He wasn't being bitter. What he's doing is he's playing it smart. If people haven't paid attention, he is doing a tour of media run. He is actually pretty good at being an analyst from what I've listened to. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased. Listen, Bleacher Report asked that man knowing he was going to say what he said, right? And at the end of the day, he spoke truth. I don't care how fucking much people think that he's still bitter. Yeah, he's probably bitter. And at the end of the day, yes, he couldn't read a defense. At the end of the day, yes, he got fucking hurt all the time and it derailed his career, but he was still speaking truth no matter how fucking much you want to believe it or not. At the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is and will always be a fucking stat patter, okay? He pads stats. That's what he does. Listen, he got that big ass fucking contract right after he stole money from the team for 2 years, right? Bails the fuck out on this team, right? Dips out, takes that big ass contract in Minnesota and hasn't done a fucking thing. So much to where he ran off his number 1 wide receiver. Where's Diggs at? It ain't in Minnesota, right? So don't tell me if you want to say that Griffin's being fucking bitter. Sure, I would be too, but he's still speaking truth no matter what. When you peel that onion back, the truth is still fucking there. Kirk Cousins sucks, right? Okay, it's always going to fucking suck.
Your hate for Kirk Cousins is unbelievable.
Bro, he is a because he's a fucking fraud. He's a fraud.
I'll give you that.
He's a fucking fraud. Like he literally, his agent told him how to work the system. And that's exactly what he fucking did, right? And I'm telling you this, they're stories. And now that RG3 possibly could be out in the media, he's going to start telling some fucking stories.
Oh, I
right?
bet.
And old Blue Eyes isn't going to look like the innocent, God-bearing or God-fearing man that he fucking is, right? So with that being said, let's just get down to the brass tacks, and neither fucking quarterback did what they were supposed to do when they played on our squad, right?
Touche.
Just leave it at that. Neither of them did it. I can admit that. Everyone else needs to, but I don't want to read shit about, oh, he's bitter this, and that's why he's not in the league. No, it has nothing to do with Kirk Cousins. He's not in the league because he can't stay healthy. He never could, and he can't read a defense. That's why he's not in the league. Right? Kirk Cousins shouldn't even be in the fucking league, or he should be a backup. Kirk Cousins fucking sucks, and he can take that $84 million that he's collecting and stick it right up his Christianity ass. Okay?
You think there's 32 quarterbacks better than Kirk Cousins?
I think my fucking 10-year-old is better than Kirk Cousins. God damn, man, I can't stand that guy.
He because I twisted your panties so fucking much.
Listen, because I can't stand him, I actually liked Robert Griffin more because of it. Because I couldn't stand Kirk Cousins. And now I'll take Ryan fucking Fitzpatrick, go fuck yourself over this guy. And I don't even like fucking Fitzmagic. He's a goddamn journeyman who's going to do the same fucking thing Kirk Cousins did, Jesse. But yeah, we're praising Fitzmagic. Oh, Fitzmagic. There was a guy Jesse. There was a fucking guy on draft day that had a Fitzmagic jersey. Wasted his fucking money on a bearded journeyman who fucking sucks his whole career.
For those who are not watching on YouTube, Keith, his whole head and face is beet red.
Fuck, man. Fuck. We glorify fucking sorry ass quarterbacks. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Because no, Jesse, it's because we are so fucking broken as a fan base. We're broke. So the minute we bring in a quarterback, we're like, ooh, Fitzpatrick, he's going to throw the ball down. Fuck you. He's going to throw fucking interceptions all year long. You guys will
right.
Like, I stayed quiet, but I can't stay quiet anymore. And I stayed quiet because I'm like, ooh, maybe things will change because I have season tickets because I'm going to the games. Maybe he's going to throw touchdowns. Fuck you. He's not going to throw any touchdowns. We might as well just bring Kirk Cousins in because they both are the fucking same. They're journeymen. They suck and they need to be out of the league. I'm done.
Are you done?
Fuck yeah, I'm done.
All right. Keith's Corner,
fuck
everybody.
All you people. No. I'm back,
not
baby.
Done. He's not.
No, I'm back. Fuck all you people who listen to this on Twitter and don't agree with me and you love Kirk Cousins. Go fuck yourself. How about that? How you like those green apples?
Are you done now?
I'm done.
Okay.
Fuck Kirk Cousins, man.
All right.
That guy gets me fired up, man.
He does. He gets you fired up. All right.
Because he's fake.
Take a breath. Take a deep breath.
All right.
We got some breaking information in.
Heart attack.
Into the studio. We got an email with a soundbite coming from old Jerry Rural.
How do these things end up in our lap?
I don't know, man.
It's crazy.
I don't know. It's super crazy, but hell, I'm not going to hold it back. I'm going to put it out there, and let the world listen. And you take it with a grain of salt, or
Jesse's
you
getting
take
his own cause.
Take it and run with it, man. This is some good shit right here, guys. So let me pull it up. And we'll see where it goes. Let's see.
You look cute over there on the right.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, all right. Let's get this here party started. Who's got the coke? Is it on the bar?
What the?
What time do we pick?
We picked 10th, sir.
I know we picked goddamn 10th. I want to know if I can take a damn nap. Who the hell is this boy? What's he doing in my war room? God damn it, where the hell is the ice? Maria can't make me a goddamn margarita without any ice, now can she? We need some ice right now. McCarthy, get away from that goddamn buffet and save some for everybody else. I mean, goddamn it, it's only the second pick and this is your third sandwich. Don't you look at me like that. Or like, wait, who's he looking at?
Hey, Dad. I got the Philadelphia Eagles on the phone.
No, yeah? Well, what do they want?
Well, they want to trade up into our spot and move down 2 spots. They want to jump ahead of the Giants for this.
Get ahead of... God damn it, Stephen. When are you ever going to learn? What is Rule 4?
So I do it? They're on hold.
What is Rule 4? Right there in the gold frame on my desk. The 5 rules of Dallas Cowboys football. Rule number 4. Come on, say it with me. Rule 4. If it fucks the New York Giants, you do it. If it fucks the New York Giants, you do it. Now, give me that goddamn...
Surtain's been chosen.
He's gone? The hell do you mean Surtain is gone? Who picked him?
Denver.
The Broncos? Well, goddamn it, now who are we going to take?
We're looking at Micah Parsons.
Micah? Micah? Well, that's just great. Now I got a Micah to go with my Zika, my Mary, and my dad. God damn it, we don't sound like a football team. We sound like the goddamn Mickey Mouse Club. Where'd he go to school?
He's from Penn State, sir. We're going to have Sean Lee meet him when he gets in.
Oh, no, I do not want Sean Lee near any of my players. Yes. That boy gets hurt chewing a stick of gum, and I don't want him cursing anybody.
Yes, sir.
Tell him to take that bus ticket I gave him and get the hell back to bumfuck, and I mean right now.
Yes, sir.
God damn it, give me that tequila.
Give him the tequila.
There you have it. There you have it. That is Jerruh Jones and the Dallas Cowboys war room. That's nuts. And we got through to the Dallas Cowboys PR staff, And we got Jerry on the phone. Jerry, are you there?
I'm here, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am going to stop giving my name out to random prostitutes, and that's for damn sure.
Well, that's probably that's a good rule you might want to add to your Dallas Cowboy rules that we heard you say. Listen, speaking of the rules, as we heard in the recording, you have the 5 rules of the Dallas Cowboys. Rule number 4 is fucking over the Giants. Can you tell us what rules 1, 2, 3, and 5 are?
I mean, I suppose I can. It's not like I think you boys can take anything and do with anything with it, but this is my formula for Dallas Cowboys success. Rule number 5, fuck it. We're going to the Super Bowl. I don't care what happens. We are on our way. I mean, look, last year, Dak goes down rolling around on a broken ankle. Andy Dalton's coming in with his helmet on backwards, and fuck it. We are going to the Super Bowl, baby. You hear me? You feel me? Get your tickets now. Number 4, if it fucks the New York Giants, you do it, because John Mara's a bitch, and if he ever agreed to meet me somewhere, I'd beat his head in with a 2x4, and he knows why. Rule number 3, criminals keep the locker room sharp. I mean, look, let's be honest. Football is a violent game, so it's best to have some violent lunatics that know how to play it, am I right? Sounds sensible. Some of these men would certainly be in prison if they didn't have NFL football as an outlet. We are glad to have them here in Dallas playing for our football team. I don't care. Nate Newton, Michael Irvin, Pac-Man Jones, Greg Hardy. It doesn't matter. If you get caught clubbing baby seals at a baby kid's birthday party, then you are Dallas Cowboys material. Rule number 2, always have a patsy to bail out your star players. Look, back when I was winning Super Bowls, hardly a week could get by without Michael Irvin getting busted in a Mexican whorehouse with a few dimes of crack in his pocket, but Michael never paid the price because we always had a patsy. For example, did you know that Michael stabbed a teammate in the neck with a pair of scissors once?
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
You remember that boy's name?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't.
Of course not. That's my whole point. All right. Rule number 1, and this is the most important. I call this the 3 M's of Dallas Cowboys business. Marketing, merchandise, and motherfucking rednecks. I mean, God damn it, baby. This is a gravy train. It's the easiest money I ever made. It's almost like a sin.
Jerry,
yes,
it's Keith here. How you doing, sir?
I'm just fine, Keith. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, listen, Jerry, how do you feel about us even having these recordings? I mean, why would they even leak them, and why to us?
Well, I leaked it. I leaked it to everybody. See, there's a little secret that keeps me out of trouble. I do whatever the hell I want and let it all hang out. I don't care who knows it. Look, I get photographed in the truck stop men's room with a couple of young girls, and what happens? Nothing, because I don't let anybody expect anything else. See, your boy Dan Snyder could have learned from this. You lay it all out. You be upfront about it. Look here, honey, one of the conditions of you working here is me and the boys is going to be doing everything we can to peek up your skirt. And it's all out there, am I right? Problem solved before it even gets started.
Oh, no, I hear you. Listen, on the recordings, you were kind of hard on McCarthy. He was going in for some extra help. Are you concerned with his health at all?
Mike McCarthy's a big gentleman. He's got a big appetite. We knew that going in, and he says it helps him think. And well, all right, we like to accommodate. We got a hot box on the sideline stuffed with burritos that's just for him. Help keep him focused on the game. I know I was a little hard on him there, but I hadn't eaten yet, and I was plumb famished. And goddamn it, if he wasn't just taking all the smoked turkey, I just can't take that stuff.
Jerry, do you feel good about your draft?
Rule 5, baby. Fuck it. We are going to the Super Bowl. Mika, Zika, Sadie, Mary, Dak. I just know I got a Corky or a Cubby in there somewhere, and we are locked and loaded, baby. Get your T-shirts and ball caps right now.
Well, hold on a second, though. How do you compare it to the other teams in the division with their drafts? Do you even pay attention to that?
I usually don't pay attention to what that stuff is going on over there. Usually in between picks, I'm trying to get some shut-eye, or I'm entertaining a game day hostess or something like that. I just don't pay attention to those things. I trust my football people to keep track of that stuff, and I just do whatever the hell I want.
Okay, all right.
I hear you. So how is Dak's leg injury progressing? Is he going to be able to start the season?
Dak is fine. He is on pace to have a 5,000-yard season, and I'm told we are seeing at least 55 touchdowns out of him. He is going to lead the Cowboys straight to the Super Bowl, and this is why we are paying him the big bucks. Am I right?
You seem to say that on a yearly basis that you guys are going to the Super Bowl, but it's been a while.
The 3 M's of Dallas Cowboys business. Am I right?
Right.
Merchandise, marketing, and motherfucking rednecks. Get your ball caps now. T-shirts are on sale, 10% off all hoodies just this week.
No, it makes sense.
Jerry, how's Zeke doing? You know, technically, I don't personally care, but I figured I would ask, you know, just because we know, you know, he wasn't really at a form. You know, how's he looking now?
You know, when it comes to Zeke, we're confident that he's that's to say, we're anticipating that Zeke's looking. Look, he goddamn well better be up to form. You understand what I'm saying? Big Jerry doesn't like wasting that kind of money.
Jerry, do you still let him, you know, run around in those half shirts though? Because that looked a little silly.
It did look a little silly, and frankly, it looked just, well, I can't say those kinds of things anymore because all of the whodunit police will come and get us and throw us off the internet. So I'm not going to say what I thought about Zeke, except that I didn't want to pay anything to Disneyland or Disney World for any kind of royalties for that hairstyle of his. So I had to stop that.
You guys went heavy on the draft, on defense on the draft. Is Dan Quinn going to be the savior of the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I'll tell you something right now. I think Dan Quinn, what you're getting with him is the mastermind behind the Atlanta Falcons team that went to the Super Bowl and choked away a 25-point lead in the fourth. Hang on a second.
Who the hell wrote this? God damn it, somebody's getting fired. Don't you look at me like that. Somebody's getting fired.
All right, look, what I mean to say is we're confident that Dan can help us win the Super Bowl. So,
was that Raul?
No, Raul is in the kitchen where he belongs. 10% off all hoodies this week only.
Oh man, Jerry. So Jerry, the last time that we spoke, which again we appreciate you coming on the show, was a big hit. Everybody loves you, even though we don't support you.
Of course they do.
We touched base a little bit on, you know, Dan Snyder and what was going on with his ownership. So since then, as you know, Dan now has full ownership. You know, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, I think that's just fine for Dan. It's about time he had the balls to do something like that. I could never understand having a partner, and that's, I mean, especially the way he's done it. I must say that as a fellow billionaire, I am extremely disappointed. I mean, God damn it. He lets them partners get all uppity like that when he can just take them out on his yacht and feed them to the sharks. Now he's going to have to drag it all out in court. When was the last time you ever saw me in court? That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because as soon as I do something people might take me to court about, I go get myself photographed in a truck stop toilet with a couple of honeys and everybody forgets all about
it. Jerry, last time we talked, you were on your yacht. And since the weather's getting nice, what's your plans for this summer?
Well, I got to tell you something. I understand what your question is asking me, but from somebody that lives up in the stratosphere where I do, as compared to down in the sewers where you boys do, every day is a beautiful day when you got a ship that can go anywhere on the planet that you want. If I don't like the weather, God dang it, Captain Pablo, point us to another section of the planet and let's go. So what I plan to do for this year's summer is kind of up in the air. After I get off this here phone call, I'm going to get in my helicopter and fly to the other end of my boat and get me another Mai Tai. We're going to see where it goes from there.
That sounds good. I got one more question for you, and this is a serious one. We're getting a little bit worried about you there, Jerry. For the second time in a row, it seems to us that you might have a little bit of a substance abuse problem. Do you think you should get some help?
You boys are so cute. Let me tell you something. Down where you guys live, it's called a substance abuse problem. Up here where I live, it's called a 3-week vacation to get in touch with myself. So I don't worry too much about it because I can afford all the substances I want. And when you have all the substances, there ain't no abusing
it. It makes sense to me, man. Makes sense to me. Keith?
Oh, man. Well, Jerry, I don't really have any actual questions for you. I guess now that this is the second time that you've been on our show, how do you feel if we just go ahead and start calling you Jerruh Jones instead of
Jerruh's fine. Jerruh's fine. Jerruh fine. I don't care. Just don't call me when a goddamn boat is a rocket. You understand where I'm coming from?
Gotcha. Well, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day. We know that you are a busy man.
I'm a busy man, all right. I was jet skiing 5 minutes ago naked with a couple of cheerleaders.
It must be nice.
Why can't Dan, Jerruh? Why can't Dan do that? Like you get away with it, Dan can't.
Let's just put it this way: if I get photographed jet skiing naked with a couple of cheerleaders, it's going to go viral. Everybody's going to say, look at Jerry having himself some fun. If Dan gets photographed out there with a couple of cheerleaders, it's going to go viral. Everybody's going to laugh at him and say, my God, look at that shirty little boy there. And I don't know what to say. He's probably smarter to keep himself out of the way of the camera, which isn't probably too hard since most cameras are well above the size of his head.
All right, Jerry, one last question from my side. As you know, the Washington football team is still under record, not knowing, what the team name is going to be. Looks like they're going to make that announcement in 2022. So what do you think, Jerruh? I mean, I know that, you love the Cowboys and you probably don't care about our team too much, but between Red Wolves, Warriors, and all this other bullshit that's out there, what kind of name are you liking, Jerry?
I think that Dan ought to blaze a new trail. He ought to do something right now. It's a time of wokeness in America, and he ought to just call the damn team the Washington Fairies. I think I'd be happy with that. I think I'd be all right with that. The Washington Fairies. The Cowboys took down the Fairies today. Of course, now that sounds like a pretty bad movie.
Oh shit. Well, listen, we've been on. We've taken enough of your time. And again, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come join us on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. This is going to be it for it until next week. Next week, we'll probably dive a little bit deeper into our draft picks and maybe even take a trip around the NFC East to kind of dive into what Dallas Giants and Philadelphia has done with their picks.
That's pretty simple. I can tell you right now, here's what's going to happen. Fuck it, we're going to the Super Bowl. The Washington football team's going to triple on their dick. The Giants and the Eagles can go fuck themselves. And that's all there is to
it. Oh, man.
You can catch my co-host, Keith, on Twitter at KGSkins26. You can, our actual, the podcast is Bleeding Bird Pod. And you can catch me at Jesse's 24. We will be back next week. Same time, same place. Hail to the Skins.
You got to go home, but we got to get the fuck out of here.